This video is on how to create a P-chart in Quantum Excel. As a setup, I have data on a worksheet. In column A is the date. The date will serve as the x-axis labels, and it is optional. In the other two columns are the sample size and the number of defects. To enter the data correctly, the sample size must be the column to the left of the number of defects. But they do not have to be in columns B and C. For example, they can be in columns G and H as well. To select the data, I can select the data by clicking the column headers if the only data in columns A, B, and C is the data for the control chart. If I wanted to just select a certain range of columns A, B, and C, I could click and drag and select only the rows that I would like to include in the control chart. When ready, I click on Stat Tools, followed by Control Charts, and then P-chart. When I click on P-chart, Quantum Excel will ask the data range and the x-axis range. And it will do the best it can to guess which is the x-axis range, which is the data range. In this case, it found dates in column A, and therefore it selected the x-axis range correctly as cells A1 through A31. The data range is cells B1 through C31, and it's very important to note that the sample size is left of the number of defects. So it will use column B for the sample size and column C for the number of defects. If I wanted to change the options, I could click Next. Otherwise, I will click Finish to create the chart. When Quantum Excel creates the chart, it plots the proportion defective by taking the number of defects and dividing it by the sample size for each one of the dates in my spreadsheet. The red line on the top of the data is the upper control limit, and the red line at the bottom is the lower control limit. The red line is not horizontal because the P-chart has a varying sample size, therefore the control limits change with the sample size. Any points that are out of control are colored red. So for example, this data point right here is just above the upper control limit and is therefore colored red. And that is how you create a P-chart in Quantum Excel.